Alright guys, quick look at everything I'm bringing to Bali, Indonesia. First thing, some electronics. Got the travel adapter, really important for different ports that you have in different countries. 4 USB ports on the bottom, so you can charge multiple things at once, like your toothbrush, your razor, your phone battery, external battery, which is the next thing. In case your phone dies, you would be screwed, so really good to have an external battery. AirPods, good for the plane. Jacket, you might be like, why do you need a jacket in Southeast Asia? It's all hot and tropical. But on the top of mountains, if you want to take a mountain hike in Bali, it's going to be cold up there. So good to have a fleece, although it takes a lot of space. So I probably would have brought a smaller but still warm fleece. Some shirts, so some casual looking shirts and a lot of breathable shirts for the hot weather. Underwear. First aid kit, good to have band-aids, stuff like that. Lock and air tag for hostel. Air tag to put in your backpack to always know where it is, and then a lock for the hostel lockers. Eye mask and earplugs, important because people turn on the lights randomly or snore, so you want to be able to stay asleep. Wet wipes, hand sanitizer for food. These shoes are the Hoka Transport. They're kind of like a hybrid between hiking and walking and running shoes, and they're a little bit weather resistant on top, so your feet aren't going to get super wet really fast. So these are great. They have like traction on the bottom for the hiking hybrid, and then they're super comfortable, cushioned. So, and they're the color gray, so they can match with anything I wear pretty much. The only thing is I would look a bit goofy if I'm wearing this with like a button-up shirt. So that's the only thing. Passport, international driving permit in case you want to hike or rent a car or bike. Socks, mic, hat and sunglasses for the sun. A lightweight pair of joggers for the plane, so they're not going to take up much space, but you can still stay relatively warm. Shorts, so like some pairs of nice shorts for going out, and then some athletic shorts for the day-to-day where it's really hot. So microfiber towel, super important for hostels. Sometimes they don't have towels, and you want a fast drying towel, and you don't want a towel that takes up a ton of space. So this smaller, like it's almost like a hand towel size, but that's really all I needed to dry off. This DOP kit or toiletries bag has a hook on top. You really want that hook because you don't want to be putting your bag on top of the sink where it's all wet, or on the floor, or anywhere that's like all gross. So having a hook where you can hook it up somewhere and just have stuff hang down and grab your toothbrush and skincare is super essential. Hydration, important for hot weather. Compression bags, super important for clothes. Packing into a small space compresses it down and it organizes at the same time, so double benefits there. So on this one it's double-sided, so I had socks on one side, underwear on the other side, and then in other bigger compression bags I would have my shorts, shirts, stuff like that. Day pack, good to have for laundry whenever you have to do dirty laundry, or just going out during the day. And there's the main backpack that everything goes into, the Osprey 40 liter. If you're traveling for a long period of time, you're either gonna have to choose between luxury traveling, giant suitcase like this, you're gonna have to lug that shit around. Either you're gonna be staying in hotels and stuff like that where having luggage is fine, like roller luggage, or you're gonna have one backpack that you're gonna fit everything into as a carry-on for more of a budget travel option. And this way, you're not gonna have to pay extra for having an extra suitcase or extra carry-on. So you're just gonna be having this as your only one carry-on bag, because a lot of Asian airlines and budget airlines only allow you to have one bag that's about 40 liters, and it has to be under 7 kg. So that brings me into the next thing. If you have pretty heavy stuff in your backpack and your backpack weighs over 7 kg, they're not always going to weigh it, but you want to be sure that it's under 7 kg when you get up to the counter. So one thing that I've done in the past is you get packing cubes like this, and you get like your heavy clothes, etc., stuff that's heavy, and you just slip it under your jacket. So obviously I'm not going to be wearing a shirt when I go do this because it looks obvious. But if you're wearing a jacket, much less obvious. It looks like you just have like a big stomach if it's like full of clothes and stuff like that. Another hack some people do is they'll get a vest with like a bunch of pockets. And I've seen this in some memes online and stuff. They put their backpack, their laptop in the back of the vest. They put their gadgets and battery packs and phone chargers all in the pockets of the vest. And then they get on the airplane and then they just take the vest off and put it back in their bag. Another thing I recommend is getting a backpack that zips open like this. So that way you can access all of your packing cubes and everything like that from the top. Because if it's like a normal backpack, you gotta like dig down there and dig around. It's much harder. This exact backpack is the Osprey Fairpoint 40 liter. It's pretty recommended among every single tutorial on YouTube that I've saw about packing. Big plus for me is it's got these hip straps. Another pro is that you can take out a flap here and it zips up completely into almost like a duffel bag, and you can just sort of slide it down under the bed in the hostel or lockers in the hostel seamlessly. So in 48 hours, I am traveling from Austin to San Francisco to Singapore. That is a long ass flight. From there, I'm gonna be traveling to Bali, and that's a pretty short 3-hour flight or so. I paid with this flight through points on my credit card. I used about 55,000 points, which is equal to $550. Pretty insanely good for flying to Singapore. Most flights you'll see are around $1,000. This is a whole another topic I can go into in a different video. I'm trying to optimize my money and spend the least amount of money on this trip, but still have an enjoyable experience. I'm only taking one bag for a month to a month and a half. This has got to last me for all that time. There's some things I feel like I might regret. I feel like I might be bringing too many shirts. Here's a few things that you might regret bringing on a month-long trip. Number one, and you might think it's kind of crazy, but a water bottle. Y'all are thinking like, what? You need to drink water, what are you doing? But in these countries, the water is not filtered very well and it's not safe to drink tap water. You could fill up your water bottle at these filling stations and stuff, but you're stuck carrying a metal water bottle around, which takes up a good amount of space, especially if you got those bigger ones. Best thing to do instead is you just buy a plastic water bottle, which you're gonna have to do anyways. You're gonna have to be buying these plastic water bottles. And then you just use that as your reusable water bottle. And that way you're getting clean water. You don't have to take up a lot of room in your backpack, and you can easily throw it away when you're done with it or get a new one. Second item that you do not want to bring with you is jeans. Jeans are thick, heavy, they take up a lot of space. They're just not all around good for a humid place. It's kind of like a jungle. Third thing you do not want to bring, cotton t-shirts. This is kind of what everyone wears usually, cotton, but it gets really wrinkly, which is not good for travel because you gotta be stuffing your clothes in bags all the time. Cotton gets stinky and it absorbs all your sweat and it doesn't dry very quickly. So it's not the smartest option as opposed to something like activewear, merino wool, you know, these sort of things. Fourth and final item that you may not have guessed is swimsuit. I'm not bringing a swimsuit to Southwest Asia, which some of y'all might be like, what the hell? It's like the beach at Bali. Why wouldn't you bring a swimsuit? The reason why is I'm gonna buy one over there. I don't wanna bring this one because this is just a normal pool swimsuit, and I wanna buy some board shorts because I plan on maybe taking some surfing lessons, stuff like that, for which you need actual board shorts that tie in the front and are tight around your waist. So I figured I'm gonna save some space on the way there, and I'm just gonna buy swim shorts in Bali, and that'll be almost like a souvenir. I won't have to buy a bunch of souvenirs. I can have a functional souvenir that I can actually use. Yeah, I'll always remember my trip to Bali whenever I use those. So another thing you want to bring is a day pack, lightweight day pack, and a belt bag. Could do one or the other, but day pack is especially important. This is super light, packable. It just turns into like a ball. So it's super easily packed and it's lightweight. And you can carry stuff on your small, short hike, day trips, stuff like that. So you're not lugging this huge 40-liter backpack with all of your clothes and everything in it all the time. You just have this lightweight thing that's got water bottle, sunscreen, essentials. And belt bag is good for carrying your power bank, phone, wallet, passport, all that stuff. And you can just put that on and have it with you if you're going out, you know, to some beach club or something like that. You got all your essentials in here with you, and it looks a little bit smarter, a little bit more formal than having this day pack. If you don't have this one thing when you're traveling, you're doing it all wrong. Packing cubes. So when you're packing, you want everything to be compartmentalized It has two sides, so you can organize socks on one side, underwear on the other side. And that way you separate all your clean clothes from all the dirty clothes, and you just know where each of your different garments are.